Hey everyone, we are Aether, the runtime layer that turns every agent action on zero gravity into something you can replay. Today, when somebody mints an AI agent on chain, what they actually mint is a snapshot, a character.json, maybe some weights. The buyer gets a clone, not a beam. There's no record of what the agent has done, no proof of which model produced its output, no ways to verify its decisions after the fact. Aether closes that gap. Every action an agent takes, every inference, every fetch, every state change becomes a content addressed event on zero gravity storage. Every inference carries a TEE signature from zero gravity compute that proves which model produced it, and the entire history seals into a INFT, the new draft standard for transferable AI agents on zero gravity. We targeted 4 sponsor tracks with 1 cohesive projects. This is primarily built on zero gravity, then ENS to identify agents, then Keeper Hub and Uniswap. Every layer is wired to a real testnet infrastructure. Let me walk you through it, what's actually we built. 3 standards already exist for AI agents on chain. None of them say what an agent actually is. ENS and ERC8004, the on-chain identity registry for AI agents on Cephalia, together gives an agent a name. ERC7857, the new draft of INFT standard, gives the agent transferable container. And the OG compute attests one inference at a time, prove a single answer came from sealed model. But none of them defines what the agent has done. Nobody has shipped the agent's own life history, its inference, its tool calls, its decisions in a verifiable replayable form. And that gap blocks 4 real markets. Insurance. You can underwrite an agent's behavior only if you can audit it after the fact. Resale. Provenance multiplies value. Opaque agents trade as commodities. Compliance. Every AI agent's regulation in flight requires post-HOC replay of what model date and why. For trust. Buyers of agents' output deserve to verify what produced it, not take the seller's word. Aether is missing primitive that unlocks all 4. 3 claims, 1 runtime. First, replayable. Every action an agent takes becomes content addressed event. Each event stores the hashes of the previous one, so the whole agent life is a Merkle chain. Tamper with any event and every event after it stops verifying. No central log, no trusted server. 2. Verifiable. Every inference call goes through zero gravity's compute. We capture the TE signature of the response and write it into an event log alongside the prompt and the output hashes. Anyone holding the INFT can prove which model produced which answer, in which TE at which timestamp. 3. Ownable. When the agent finishes a session, we collapse the entire chain into a single Merkle root and write it into INFT's data hashes. Transferring the INFT now transfers the whole history. You're transferring a beam, not a clone. And we don't fork OG's reference contracts. We deploy them unchanged and add one verifier of our own, the Aether verifier. Let me show you what one of those events actually look like in a flight. 5 hops concurrently. The agent calls Aether.chat. The SDK fans the request out of zero gravity compute. The zero gravity compute runs the inference inside a TE, a trusted execution environment, and returns the answer with cryptographic signature attached. We capture the signature, build an inference event containing the model name, the prompt hash, the output hash, and the attestation. We link it into a chain via previous events hash. The math is only piece worth memorizing. As here you can see. Each event records the hash of the one before it. Change any event in the middle and everything after that breaks verification. We then encrypt the agent's 16-byte master key and upload it to zero gravity storage using indexer.upload. That 16-byte key is not a design choice, it's a hard constraint for ERC7857. When the session ends, the chain root data hashes, the INFT is minted. 3 proofs anyone can check: the mint transaction, the storage blob, and the relay page. All links are valid. all derived from INFT alone. We use almost every primitive zero gravity ships: the zero gravity chain, the zero gravity storage, the zero gravity compute, and the zero gravity compute ledger. Also, the ERC7857 INFT. The agent emits event, SDK chains plus encrypts, storage holds everything, compute attests, chain mints and settles, and the ledger refills everything. Entire life cycle equal to zero gravity's primitives. We have built Aether SDK with chat, tool, observe, set state and mint. ENS standardizes who agent is. We add what it's doing right now. Resolving Aether.it returns three things: ENSIP25 binding, service discovery, and the live state. The three resolution, three different values. ENSIP25 is a static identity and Fela agents equal to static JSON. So Ammonite is the live ENS layer in Aether. An agent that takes money on chain needs two things: reliable settlements and flexible payments. For reliable settlements, we have used guard, keeper sub track. We wrap every on-chain settlement, mint, transfer, authorized usage in a keeper hub workflow with retry, gas optimizations, private routing, and audit trail. While we were working with keeper hub with Zero Gravity's Galileo, it hit a reproducible Cloudflare 524 timeout on keeper hub's broadcaster, and it only hit it on Zero Gravity's Galileo. We have documented this bug in the feedback.md as the builder feedback bounty submission. Shipped a direct fallback path. Flow keeps working. Audit attestation recorded either way. Now, we have also used Uniswap's aligned X402 plus EIP3009, a server-side X402 middleware that turns any HTTP endpoint into a paywalled one in one line. We have deployed ZGUSD and ERC20 plus EIP3009 on Zero Gravity's Galileo. Entire buyer flow on one chain, no bridges. Front-end read assets, network and EIP712 domain from the server challenges. No hard-coded addresses. So, everything you heard until now, we have implemented it in real. Now, to showcase what Aether actually enables, we built Thornbury, a self-financing research agent entirely on top of Aether SDK. Thornbury picks AVEX questions, fetches paper, summarizes them through TE attested zero gravity compute, mints the report as an ERC7857 INFT, paywalls access through X402, settles in our native ZGUSD token, and refills its own zero gravity compute ledger from the revenue. So, to be precise about what we are submitting, Aether is the runtime, the SDK, the verifier, the contracts, the cross-track layer. Thornbury is the agent we built top of Aether to prove the entire loop works end to end. Aether is the engine, Thornbury is the first car of the line. The video you'll watch next is a Thornbury running live on Zero Gravity's Galileo testnet. Hello everyone, this is Aether, a runtime layer for AI agents built primarily on Zero Gravity. We have used Zero Gravity for compute, storage and the INFT mint. We have also used ENS for live agent identity, Keeper Sub for settlement reliability, and an X402 payment envelope aligned with Uniswap's pay with any token. Every layer is wired into a real testnet infrastructure. Let me show you the loop end to end. First, let's connect the wallet. As you can see, we have connected the wallet. Now I'll pick a research question and click on execute. Let's go with the first one and let's click on execute. Now you can see that every action that agent performs becomes a frame on a tape. Observations as Thornbury, agent fetches paper from AVEX, a tool call for the search itself, then inferences, each one running on Zero Gravity's compute inside a TE. The attested chips means we have captured the model's TE signature into the event log. Each frame links to the previous one through its hash, and the entire encrypted log is uploaded to Zero Gravity storage in batched mode at flush time. The whole agent's life is content addressed, replayable on Zero Gravity. There it is. Freshly minted on There it is, an INFT freshly minted on Zero Gravity's Galileo testnet against the Zero Gravity's official ERC 7857 reference contract. Let's click on the transaction hash. You land on chain scan. This is real on-chain mint, a Merkle route over every event you just saw live in the tokens that data hashes. The specs field for the agent's verified status. Now, we can replay the agent's whole life cycle. Anyone holding this intelligent NFT can replay the agent's complete reasoning, frames, stream back, gauge climbs, and the chain's integrity check. We can walk through every previous hash link, all links valid. The whole reasoning history reconstructs from INFT alone. As you can see, we have observe, we have tool, we have inference, we have mutation, everything. And everything is valid. Here it is. Here are the papers that it's fetching from. We have also used DNS in this. Before we buy, here's how a buyer even finds this agent. Through standard ENS resolution. We call this layer Ammonite. Resolving Aether.eth returns three kinds of records. The ENSIP25 binding proves the on-chain identity. This name maps to ERC8004 agent ID 4098 on Cephalia, registered on the identity registry. Second, the service discovery record points to agent's X402 payment endpoint. That's how wallet knows where to pay. And the agent.ether.head is a dynamic returns the agent's live event log head from Zero Gravity storage via CCIP read. Three resolutions of the name returns three different head values. ENS isn't just naming, it's discovery and live state. As you can see, this is the Thornberry's ENS name, thornberry.ether.eth. And this is the ether.eth, our base name. Now, let's proceed with buying the report. Now the buyers can search for this particular agent, and they can come here and buy that report. Let's put here 6, and this is where the two tracks lands. The first endpoint returns HTTP 402 with an X402 challenge. That's soft aligned payment protocol. A server side envelope or middleware builds in one line. The wallet signs an EIP 712 type data permission, readable form, not a raw blob. The asset we're using right now is Zero Gravity USD, a native EIP 3009 stablecoin we deployed on Zero Gravity. So the entire payment loop stays on one chain, no bridges. The server submits three transactions. The first, real transfer with authorization that moves Zero Gravity USD. Second, authorized usage on the INFT that grants me the read access of that INFT. It is wrapped in a Keeper sub workflow for retry, private routing, and audit. Third and last, the Keeper hub audit attestation, a signed record of the whole settlement, the real on-chain artifact side by side. Let's click on execute order and let's confirm the transaction in the MetaMask. Real transfer with authorization colon GUSD on OG Galileo. Real money, real on-chain effect. The Keeper sub audit ID is the buyer's receipt of the whole flow. Here it is. We can click on here and we can check the transaction on chain scan. Here it is, 24 seconds ago. And here is the Keeper sub audit evidence ID. As I told you, this audit ID is the buyer's receipt for the whole flow. And this is the report that it have generated. Users can buy this report from this AI agent. So that's Aether for you. Replayable agents on Zero Gravity. Named and discovered through ENS, paid through X402 with Keeper hub backed settlement. The bookkeeping layer every agent on Zero Gravity is going to need. Thank you.